in that little moment of prayer, like while they are praying, like people are able to connect to like what's important for them. Historically, we are all tribes. We are all tribal people, and the tribes here in Nepal, most they used to worship nature, by default. When we look at the urban setting in Nepal, like Kathmandu, Pokhara, like these cities where these services are more open, I can see like a lot of people are open to therapy. The most general question like they have for me in the therapeutic process is, okay, will this problem get solved? Being open to myself and also to people, that is quite important.
Hello, my name is Bhakti Bala and I'm psychologist. This is podcast SEBE. The main aim of this podcast is education and inspiration. Today, my guest is Suraj Shrestha. He's an outdoor well-being enthusiast working at MyQuest Foundation. He holds master's degree in counseling psychology from Tribhuwan University. As a mental health practitioner, he has been facilitating a personal leadership development program called QuestTrek for a group of Nepalese and Dutch participants in the mountains of Nepal. He has also started organizing monthly outdoor reflective practices called PsyHike for people through hiking. In this process, he and his team facilitate the self-awareness and therapeutic process for young adults going through psycho-social and emotional challenges. He has been organizing other customized reflective sessions and programs related to mental health and personal growth. In this podcast with Suraj, we discussed the mental situation in Nepal and how the spirituality influences on mental health of the people, and how the project that created by Suraj helping people to overcome their challenges in their life. I hope this episode will be inspirational and useful in your life. I hope you will like it and enjoy this episode. So, hello, Suraj. How are you today?
Yes, hello Bhakti Vela. Today I'm quite grounded from this morning, and so my head is like going here and there, like how it's going to be, like our conversation. In general, I'm quite excited at the moment. Yeah.
It's so nice to have you here. Thank you for finding the time to share with your knowledge, with your experience and inspiration. I know it's now Diwali time, and you still dedicated some time to share. Thank you.
Yes,
Um,
yes, sure, sure. That's all right. Yeah.
Today we're gonna discuss some important questions like psychology, yes, mental health, and I would like to know about also in Nepalese situation, yeah, because I'm not that aware, and I think it's not like much information about this, especially in English. Maybe you have it in your language, but it's not like available in English. And I'm very curious how the Nepal, it's very for me, like for the to being foreigner, it's like very spiritual something, like or religious something, and how the mental health and society and all this like perception of foreigners about Nepal, it correlates. Yeah, I'm very interested about this. But before we will dive to the topic, I would like to ask you, how did you come to the psychology and to starting these projects, like leadership? Can you share about your experience?
Yes, I came to the field of psychology, I would say accidentally. So when I was doing my bachelor's study over here in Nepal, I got to know that okay, I could choose psychology as one of the like complementary subject, and then and I was like curious at that moment. I just wanted to, okay, let's try it out, and then like as I studied with my friends, with my teacher, I was like more curious. I could relate to what I was learning, to myself. So that's what made me more curious, and like also to go further, also with my study and also with my career.
Mhm.
So yeah, after completing my bachelor's, I have done my master's as well. And so as I was doing my study in this field of psychology, I also got the opportunity to participate in various programs, And one of those programs that I got to participate was called QuestTrek.
Mm.
So it was like it is a 6 days outdoor program, and somehow like it did like transformed me from inside.
Mm.
uh, and I was like very surprised like how it made change towards me, and that's why like I started approaching to the organization. Back then it used to be called Mountain Childcare, and and I started my internship over here. And so as I got more into it, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do.
Mhm.
So yes, now I'm still with Mountain Childcare. Now we call it MyQuest Foundation.
Mhm.
So with the foundation, I'm still like with the team. We organize, these programs, mostly outdoor-based programs together.
Ah, nice. It's so good coincidence for you, right? So long journey.
Yes, yes,
But
yeah.
I know that it's a lot of stigma still about psychology in general in the world. Yeah, like being like to be in psychology, like to go to therapy. It's always like a bit like people look strange. Yeah, how is it in your culture? It's the first question, and the second, yeah, you being a man. Yeah, like maybe you had a more stigma because I don't know how it's in Nepal situation, but in post-Soviet Union countries, when the man goes to the psychotherapy or like psychology stuff, they think like, oh, they're weak. Yeah, like because you need to be a man, you
Yeah.
need to be strong and deal with all your emotion and problems by yourself. And if you can, you're very weak. So did you had something like this, these problems? If yes, how did you manage this?
I think like what you shared out of like your own context, that is somehow true in our context as well.
Mm.
So in Nepal, like psychology and like getting the help from therapist or even counselor, it is kind of new to Nepal. Like it's been just few years that people are like known. Okay, this kind of services are available, and so yes, there are lots of taboo in terms of social context, because of course we have a collective society, right? And in Nepal, like people normally say, टाउको दुख्यो भन्न चाहिँ सहिलो छ, मन दुख्यो भन्न चाहिँ गाह्रो छ. So I'm saying in Nepali.
Yeah.
So it's a statement that people say, like it means like it's easy to like say when you have headache.
Uh-huh.
And but like it's kind very difficult for you to say when you feel hurt from like
Mhm.
inside.
Mhm.
So emotionally when you are hurt, it's very difficult to express. So that from that angle we can see like, okay, how much we need to work on this field. And yes, for me, like being a man, I must say that like even me studying psychology and doing all this work together, like I was like still not open with myself, like exploring myself, my emotions. So it's been like nearly like 2 years that I have started my own process, and at times I still go to therapy myself. So and so me being in this field, I was like, it took a lot of time for me to open up. And I can imagine like for other men who are not into this field and who have their own, like they have their own difficulties going on, I can imagine how difficult it can be for them to open up. First of all, society or like people automatically expect men to be strong, to be bold. And I think like we as a men, we somehow unconsciously try to adapt to that norm of our society. And yeah, it's kind of challenging, I guess, for men. But in like when we look at the urban setting in Nepal, like Kathmandu, Pokhara, like these cities where these services are more open, I can see like a lot of people are open to therapy, not just men, also women as well. So it's a growing field over here in Nepal. And I can, like from what I know from my network, like we are able to help a lot of people.
Mhm.
So yeah.
That's good to hear. Like it's becoming more popular, yeah. Like, but
Yeah.
can you tell me about the how the situation about mental health in general in Nepal? Like, like for example, in Kazakhstan, as I see the tendency, like people are very like more artistic oriented. You know, like people want to earn more money and be popular, and
Mhm.
some people like when the people come to me, they're like usually the years younger than me. You know, so it is early 20s. So they always came because they have like low confidence or they don't
Mhm.
understand what to do because everyone seems so successful in the Instagram
Mhm.
or Facebook or whatever, and they feel lost
Yeah.
because they don't know what to do, and a lot of like depression and anxiety because they feel something that they need to do something authentic about their lives, but they can't because
Mhm.
all the world it seems like the same. Yeah, people doing the same stuff and they look so successful and so happy, but why I'm so unhappy. Yeah, so the tendency
Uh-huh.
is what is the tendency in Nepal?
So the mental health status in Nepal in general, um, I would say like it's kind of challenging in Nepal. People have like uh, they do go through like social emotional challenges, and as a result of that, some people, uh, many people, they have experience of being in anxiety or depression, or even like other like more severe mental health situations such as schizophrenia and also like bipolar disorders. So when I look at the young people, because of the growing trend, like mm, like young people now, they have to kind of adjust to the more demands of modern society, and so it gives an automatic pressure for them to, okay, I have to like reach there, I have to maintain certain social status, I have to like do something like that. So I think because of that also a lot of people go through anxiety, because for some people, not everyone is fortunate enough to find support for that. And normally from my experience, I mostly work with the young adults who have had experience of being in childcare home. So for them, the childhood is kind of already challenging for them, and growing up in an orphanage or childcare home, it kind of brings them, it does help them to grow up, have the quality education and all. But when we look at the psychological aspect, I see a lot of these youth have difficulties in terms of their self-esteem, how they see themselves, how they see the future, and also like adjusting to the society. So I think like because of what we have, like with the pressure that we get from modern demands, and also like the society, people go through like a lot of challenges. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's true. So it's like mostly the same situation all over the world, yeah, for young generation because, yeah, like
yeah, yeah.
let's say about the internet, yeah, because it's just spread. You cannot stop it, yeah, like you cannot like cancel this. This is just existing situation. And I'm very curious how the mentality is it influencing? Like, do you have this, because you also was colonized, yeah, as I know, like Nepal was colonized, yeah, or no?
So Nepal was like, when we look at the official documents, Nepal was never colonized, but like Nepal has a huge influence of being, like of the colonization from British Empire, I guess, because it's very close to India, and it was not colonized, but we like the influence is there. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, because we are also was colonized like as a country, and we was in Soviet Union many years. And I cannot say that a lot of people aware about this transgenerational trauma, I would say, yeah. But me, like as
Yeah.
like being the in colonial country that was colonized, when I started to travel a lot and when I moved from Kazakhstan, I understood how much I have this mentality of being colonized, like many generations ago. Even I wasn't colonized. I didn't have any like bullying from these people. But anyway, I just started to be more conscious about my patterns of being inferior, or thinking that white people, I mean, like, because I'm Asian looking, white people, they're better or smarter or something. I noticed this in dating, like, because I was dating with like white guy, like from Europe, and I understood that, oh, I'm
Mhm.
thinking that he's better. Wow. And I was so surprised because I never noticed
Ah,
before, because before I was dating with local, like, I mean, with Kazakh guys. So I was married with Kazakh men. So
mhm.
when I moved, I started to see it, and it was for me so mind changing. Do you have also these problems in Nepal, like, and in general, people aware of this problem or not? Like, because in Kazakhstan we also have some small portion of people who are like trying to decolonize our mindset. Like that we are not like
Mhm.
inferior, because also on the situation with the war with Ukraine, yeah, like Russia, and a lot of Russian came to Kazakhstan. But in
Yeah,
general,
yeah,
we used to have a lot of Russians in Kazakhstan, but now like a lot of Russians came to Kazakhstan, and I see the tendency in the people that Kazakh people trying to learn Kazakh, because some people don't know Kazakh, like, and trying to explore their
yeah,
traditions,
yeah.
like going to back to their roots. And even
Mhm.
me, like living abroad, I don't use Kazakh much. Like I don't need it here, yeah. But I'm trying to sing, like, I'm trying to listen sometimes Kazakh songs, or I want to read something in Kazakh, because like like this also influenced on me, like
Mhm.
like
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think as I'm listening to you, I was also like reflecting on like what is the situation in Nepal, like how to this is in terms of Nepal. So I'm not sure like in this field, like I'm not the expert in that sense, because I don't know if research has been done here in Nepal. But the pattern that I see is mostly, I think, out of the influence that I told you earlier. So yes, Nepal was never colonized officially, but there had been a huge influence of British Empire, yeah, in India. East India Company. So there had been a huge influence in Nepal as well, like Nepalese politics, Nepalese like economic policies, social policies, and everything. So yes, people. When I work in the states, people still do have the mindset that, okay, if I see a foreigner, someone from Europe or America, like people still do perceive them as superior,
Mhm.
and like themselves as kind of inferior, in the sense that, okay, if some like white guy or like white woman is there, okay, this should be true.
Mhm.
So in that sense, people are like, I think like people are not sure if I'm not sure if it came out of transgenerational trauma, but in terms of influence, there has been like there is a lot of stuff like that. Even like when we have we are in the market and we have the products from Nepal, and also like let's say from Germany, people automatically see like, okay, German product is way better than Nepalese product, though uh, like everything is kind of same. So in that sense, yeah, like there's like general pattern, people perceive like Europeans or the Americans as like more superior than Nepalese. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we say we have same tendency about Russian and also about European or whatever. It's better than
Mhm.
Kazakh for sure. But now it's a bit changing, yeah. So I'm happy to see this also.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. But what is the most popular question that people come to therapy for you?
For me, what is the most popular question that people come to therapy? Ah,
You consult mostly in Nepalese, yeah, like, oh, only
yeah.
Nepalese, yeah, in Nepalese, yeah, like.
Mostly Nepali. Yeah. I think like the most general question like they have for me in the therapeutic process is, okay, will this problem get solved? like, will my challenge get over, you know?
Wow.
So they kind of want, I think by these questions, they want to kind of get the assurance, okay, this therapy is going to work, or like they come there with a hope, you know? So yeah. So will this like solve the problem, you know? So that's what they ask me often. Yeah.
It seems like a bit existential.
Sorry.
Like it seems a bit existential, like existential questions that your clients have. My clients have more like ground questions, like the relationships. How I will find boyfriend or girlfriend? How to create healthy relationships? Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. About your project, yeah, how you I understood that this project already existed, yeah, about psychotherapy and hiking, yeah. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
so why you decided to continue it? Like, like when I saw it in your page, I thought, wow, this is very cool idea. I thought, but uh, so you already have experience, you like doing this project. Can you share with me how it works and like share with people? Maybe they will be interested to participate in your project or maybe create in their countries because I think it's very cool. Yeah, to be in nature and also to be guided with a professional trainer or therapist who can like
Mhm.
help you to not just to reflect in your head about something like about nature, God, and all the stuff, like, but to truly like help you to go inside and then maybe apply to your real life.
Yes, yes. So mostly like I'm mostly involved with MyQuest Foundation. You know, like me and my team, we work in terms of like well-being and personal development.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the two major factors that we focus on. And for this, we mostly organize our programs in outdoor settings.
Mm-hmm.
So we have like 6 days program that I told you earlier, the QuestTrek.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a six days intense personal leadership development program, uh, which we call QuestTrek. And in this program, like we facilitate our participants through a coaching modality.
Ah, uh-huh.
And so we do have individual sessions, we do have group sessions, we do things like everything's together throughout the 6 days. And in that process, we invite our participants to get more awareness about themselves, you know, like their qualities, their values in life, what their experiences has been so far in their life, and what they have learned so far, you know. There might be things that they might want to let go of, and also we invite them to focus on their, like, look into their future as well, you know, like, okay, as a person, where they want to grow, how do they want to see themselves, you know, in the long run. So we kind of practice the aspect of manifesting, you know, manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in this way, like we walk into the mountains of Nepal together. And also in this 6 days of journey, they walk into the journey within themselves, you know. So it's a for many people, it's a self transformation journey.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about QuestTrek. And we also came up with like with another project which we call PsyHike.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, like QuestTrek it is a huge program. And first for many people, attending 6 days of program could be you know, a big challenge. So we thought, oh, okay, we can bring some aspect of it into the people's life. And that's why we have this idea of organizing PsyHike. So in this PsyHike, we normally go for a day of walk into the forest nearby, you know. And in that journey, we invite the people to connect with themselves, to the nature. And we also facilitate programs, reflective sessions for them to you know, like stay with.
Mm-hmm.
So in each psych hike, we have different topics, and in each topic, we facilitate activities based on that. So yes, in overall, it's the psych hike, the QuestTrek, or any other program that we do. It's mostly based on outdoor therapeutic experiential program. So people learn by as they experience, as they reflect, and as they have insight about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So
This sounds so fun. I think it's very nice. Like, do you see the like do you do the psychotherapy like a one-to-one in the like some room also? Like you also have this option, yeah. But do you see any difference between like when you work in the just room, yeah, or when you go to the like outdoor and nature? Do you see some like more progress, or maybe because you're going outside of your comfort zone, yeah? Because 6 days it's a lot, yeah. I mean like people who don't usually go to the mountains and don't walk much, it's too much, yeah, for them. Sometimes it's also like big
so, so
going out from your comfort zone, and also it's like a psychotherapeutic something. So do you see any like difference, and some maybe there is advantages and disadvantages in both, yeah?
yes, so mostly the outdoor programs that I do is with MyQuest Foundation, and I also provide indoor counseling session, and I have clients from Happy Minds, like it's a different company. So I have clients coming from Happy Minds. So yes, like organizing like outdoor program and facilitating a therapeutic session inside, I see there's like huge difference,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for some people, having indoor session is quite powerful because that's where they feel safe,
Mm-hmm.
and also that's where they get to be with themselves, like more comfortable way, And for some people, it's like going outside. Outside is like way much be meaningful for them, So outdoor setting, I haven't like done the individual sessions with them. I have done, yes, like in terms of coaching sessions from QuestTrek, yes, I have done, and group sessions I haven't done inside as well, so it's like kind of my experience is like that. But I see, like when I'm doing the therapeutic sessions with my clients indoor, I sometimes have this question in me, like, okay, what if I can invite him or her into outdoor program that we do? So I kind of sense that, and I believe like those people have like a wider space to experience, to explore about themselves when they are outdoor with the group, let's say in PsyHike.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like when I look at myself, like personally, what I prefer being outdoor, and also like providing sessions outdoor, because it's just like nature. I from my own experience, I can tell like nature welcomes you,
Yeah.
and
Next
it
you.
welcomes you. Yeah, it just like gives you a healing space without like noticing,
Mhm.
And so what I normally focus when I'm outdoor, like organizing programs, I invite my participants to really sit with themselves, really sit with nature, and also see, like the subtle masses that they can hear from nature and also from themselves.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's very, yeah. It sounds for me so interesting because I never participated in such kind of event. Like I've been in group therapy, but it's also always in the room usually. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and I know how it's different, like from individual psychotherapy. Yeah, because sometimes when I work individually with the person, I think, oh, it would be better for this person to go to group therapy, so his or her growth will be faster because she will
Mhm, yeah.
have the experience like with other kind of people. Of course, not some no some people are not ready because some very traumatic stuff is happening. It's okay to work
Mm.
individual, but I'm thinking about when you're in
Yeah,
nature
yeah,
with other people in a comfortable situation. I think it's like a very big growth, yeah, like for the people
yeah,
who
yeah, yeah.
participate in this. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think what you are saying may just make sense to me as well. Like, like when if people have like very intense experience and they need to process, maybe it's a traumatic experience, or like maybe it's something that they don't actually talk about with themselves, So I think those kind of people having these experiences, uh, working individually indoor would be powerful,
Mhm.
and like when like there are people who wants to kind of explore themselves, like maybe they don't have any particular aspect to explore, but they want to like, okay, let's try, let's see, I want something but I don't know, so in that case, like having the outdoor sessions with the group would be quite meaningful.
Yeah, yeah, I understand this because I practice Vipassana, and like first time when I went to Vipassana, it was very hard, but I didn't had like specific question about it. It was just hard because 10 hours of meditation is just hard. But this time when I went, because I had a lot of struggle, like I have like a difficult like period of my life now, and when I was sitting, my mind just was flooded with all these thoughts, and I was 10 days in this box. It was so difficult.
Mm,
And I understand, like, if you are going like to the quest like this, like out of curiosity, you will get other results, yeah. But if you have something like a special question, it can be very different experience for you, right? Like, and you know what? I'm curious, like, because it's this very also intense experience, right? Like 6 days hiking,
yeah.
being in mountains, and then also psychotherapy. I think you get a huge like hit of dopamine, right? Because it's everything is unknown, people unknown. Like you have huge spike of dopamine, and after the project, it can be dropped, or how it's like. Because I also experienced something like this when I was in like something like leadership programs. Uh, I was so
Mhm,
like excited during this project,
mhm.
and then like after also like maybe several months, and then it's like was huge drop. I mean, like I had
Yeah.
very, I think I will live it like a bit depressed. I mean, like not depression, but a bit depressive state, because like seeing dopamine just finished from that
Yeah,
experience.
yeah, yeah,
And I was a bit quiet,
yeah.
like oh my god, yeah, what's happening? And I noticed the difference between like when I was in long term gestalt therapy, like a group therapy, like going half year or 1 year. So there was not that I didn't had this dopamine hikes, but it was smooth, and like 1.5 year, 1 year, and after it was like long term effect. Do you have something like this after the project? Did you had any feedback from your clients and the people who participated?
Yes, yes, I see like this when you say like the dopamine, like they have like this source of energy in themselves as they experience these programs, Uh, yes, so such things do happen, because like for them going to QuestTrek is like totally new. They are like totally to new space out of their comfort, like not like new schedule for them, and they're constantly reflecting, interacting, and also like trying out things for themselves to get more in touch with themselves. And so by the day third and fourth, I see like the participants, they have like just different energy, when we compare to their energy from the first day, because they get to like experience a lot of things. And on fifth and sixth day, we invite them to look into their foreseeable future,
Mm-hmm.
so yes, they have this use like inspiration, motivation to act on when they are back to the normal life, uh, and for some people, like they can just they are able to continue what they have like realized in that journey, and for some people, they are not, unfortunately. So yes, it is also because they are not, their program, the QuestTrek is finished, and it is also because they have their own circumstances,
Mm-hmm.
which is like mostly out of their hands, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So that's why we have developed this follow-up program, which is called the Quest Tribe.
Mm-hmm.
So in Quest Tribe, we meet in like we meet every like 6 weeks,
Ah,
and we come together. We practice new activities,
ah.
and we also have time for like individual and group coaching sessions.
Wow, this is like community, yeah, like a tribe. Yeah, you said that it's so nice.
Yes, yes. So people working to the Quest Trek on the same season, it could be one Quest Trek, two Quest Trek, or even three Quest Trek. So we make a community, and that's why it's Quest Tribe.
Wow.
So in these like follow-up programs of QuestTrek, we invite them to, okay, so in QuestTrek we discussed about this, you were like ready for this. You wanted to maybe change, you wanted to learn something for yourself. And sometimes like when these participants are not able to take action for these things, we invite them, okay, what is happening in your life, and so oftentimes they come up with the challenges that are out of their hand, maybe they have like family emergencies, financial difficulties, maybe they have like the circumstances they have around them is still the same, so yes, that's why like the quiz tribe, through quiz tribe we invite, we try to help them, or like we invite them to, okay, what can we do here?
Mhm.
So yes.
Yeah, that's so nice. And like I think you're right. Like, like some people, the problem of people sometimes that they don't understand that they need to practice all this stuff in their life, not just go to this anyway, like program or psychotherapy, whatever. They think like, oh, they think that it's like like safety something, like this like how
Mhm.
for the water they throw it and you just hold it and that's all, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
people don't understand that they need to work by themselves in their real life. In psychotherapy, so it's only like one day, like 1 hour in whole week, or it's like 7 days, like from the like whole year. Yeah, it's very very little. Yeah. So the problem of people is that they don't understand they have to work by themselves. Yeah, and it's so
Yeah.
nice that you created this tribe. Yeah, yeah, I think it's very, it's like a mastermind groups. Yeah, I heard something like this when you're like helping people to support each other. Yeah, like so they are like unity.
Yes, yes. And that's why like I somehow believe once we organize some programs, I believe that it's also important to have like follow-up calls, if not sessions, follow-up calls, or like the space where like we can just sit back, okay, and also check with ourselves, okay, what is happening, what's going on with my life,
Mhm.
and having this space allows us to take new insight for ourselves and also like take action as a
Mm.
result of it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You're very inspirational for me. I mean, your project and all this like community that you're doing. Can you tell, please, what is the most valuable aspects that you gain from your own psychotherapy and the value that you gain from working with people, creating these projects and tribe and community? I'm so curious because you're inspiration for me because I also like working on creating community about and encouraging people to care about their mental health and physical health. And you are a true inspiration for me.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. It's a very deep question, I would say. uh, yes, from my own experience of uh, being into psychotherapy and also like working in this field, I would say like what helped me is when I chose to be open with myself, So there were like a lot of things that I was not comfortable, and I tried to like ignore those aspects as much as possible, And as I started my own process, I also gave an option for me to be open, to yeah, it's okay to talk about these things. Yes, it's okay to talk about maybe my regrets, maybe some my shortcomings. So being open to myself and also to people, that is quite important. And I think like that also helps us to help me to become more aware of myself and also to have a healthier relationship with myself as well.
Mhm.
And as I bring the same aspect into my work, I remain open with people, like maybe people, like however they behave or however they perceive me, I try to be open with themselves. I become curious about their own experience and how they perceive life, how they perceive their situation, and that has helped me to understand them better as well. So having a being open genuinely is quite a big takeaway for me so far.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the openness, yeah, I think it's very important that what you're saying, like being a man, like you can encourage also men to go to therapy because I think mostly the woman is tend to go to psychotherapy. Yeah, men some can go, but still it's like tendency like we're more women. Yeah. I just
Mhm.
I just telling you because just 2 days ago I had a like also podcast with the man psychotherapist and we was discussing this topic about men in psychotherapy.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, is it in Nepal? Is it popular for the men to go to therapy or like mostly it's women also?
Uh, I think like when I look at myself, my own experience, like as a therapist, uh, yeah, like when I compare, it's mostly like the majority of them are female clients that I have, and I also have like a good numbers of male clients, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So from my experience, it's like yes, female are more, but male are also like there. So, but in general, when I talk to my friends over here, they have been sharing me that it's mostly like female are more open to therapy than men. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe you also experience like the almost the same. It seems like you have the same amount, like almost, yeah, because you have very interesting project. I mean, it's connected with mountains and men's. I know they love adventures, you know, like so this
Yeah.
format for them, I think suitable. That is why it's so. I think you have this amount of people. Yeah, it's so nice. Like. And you know, like what I wanted to also ask is it like is there any ground, the space for spirituality in your processes? I'm very curious about this because you know, like I really want to like from my perspective view, I want to go to Nepal because of the spiritual stuff. You know, like I want to go to
Mhm.
Ladakh. I want to go to Vipassana in Nepal because I think it would be different. You know, because I believe like some places are like some kind of holy or something. At least a lot of people was praying there, so they might have like a little bit different vibrations. I don't know how you about all this stuff, but is there any space for this?
Yes, like in my work, like the outdoor programs that I have been sharing, yes, we do practice some techniques of spirituality. So we don't like focus, we don't like bring it in the sense of okay, we are doing something spiritual, but we just practice it as an experience, you know.
Mhm,
So when you are in nature, I believe like somehow you practice mindfulness unknowingly or knowingly, you know. You get to see like little creatures, you get to see little streams, you get to see like different kind of birds and trees, you know. And I think like being in those moments, people are able to experience like mindfulness for a moment, you
mhm,
know. And we invite them to practice to stay in that moment for a bit longer so that they can experience mindfulness even more, you know. And at the same time, being in nature and doing these programs, I see like we use a lot of metaphorical meanings out of the elements of nature, you know. Maybe we see a dry leaf, and for some people, dry leaf just makes them feel different, you
mhm,
know. And maybe they see a little bird like flying and chirping, you know. And that chirping sound can trigger like different meaning for different people, you know. So and also in like the QuestTrek that we go, we also organize one of the activities that we organize is like we sit around the fire,
mhm,
and we use the fire as a symbol of transformation, you know.
mhm,
And in that journey, we invite our participants to express what they want to let go and what they want to welcome as well. So
mhm.
in this sense, in this way, we have the elements of spirit. Sorry, my English, you
Right.
know.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, spirituality in our work. So yeah.
Oh, it's so interesting. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Like like since I'm exploring a lot of spiritual stuff, like spiritual, like scriptures, I because I want to combine somehow like psychology, like into the modern
Mhm.
world, because I understand like all the stuff that is written is actually very essential. I mean, like even Buddhism that I like, I'm not a Buddhist, but I practice some stuff, like I mean the
Yeah.
philosophy, and I understand how it's helping me, like even more sometimes understanding which pattern I have, you know, like Buddha say, just observe your sensation. I was like, oh, everything's so simple. Just observe sensations. Yeah, and
Yes, yes.
but which do you have any religion, or like you practice some like philosophy in your life? Like do you,
Yeah, my family, we come from Hinduism,
in the,
like my family background is Hindu. But like for me, I'm like kind of open, like to all the religion. So I do follow the rituals of what my family do, like the festival seasons, and I do go to temple, worship, and everything. And at the same time, I like I haven't been to mosque, but then I have a wish to go to mosque, and like just go there and pray and like observe the ambience and all.
yeah.
So I'm like I'm kind of open in the sense that okay, whatever gives me meaning, I wanna experience it. So
Yeah, I'm the same. You know, like my family, they are more Muslim. Like, and when I'm in Kazakhstan, I do all the stuff that they're doing. But when I'm like, I lived
yeah.
for 2 years in Georgia, I was going to the church, making the candles. Like now, I'm in a
Ah.
temples. I'm going to Buddha. Like because I like to integrate from everywhere. They have so much nice stuff actually.
Yeah.
Because people sometimes exaggerate it, and they made the religion as dogma. Yeah, it's not working, but
True.
you're like consciously understand, and like the information, it's really applicable to the life. I mean, like about this mindfulness, yeah, consciousness. And I like actually I read Bhagavad Gita, and this,
Okay. I
yeah,
haven't read that book.
really, this was transformational like book for me, and like about Lord Krishna and how is he
Oh,
behaving. Like even if the person is not believing in God or like Krishna or whatever, I think this is so essential about human nature, how to behave. Just is written how to behave to each other, and about the yoga and unity, yeah, of the people, of nature, and everything that is exist in this world. And I thought like, wow, this is so powerful, and why people are not applying this? Yeah, like people inventing their sufferings. Yeah, like as Buddha said, like not just understanding like very simple like law of nature. Yeah.
mhm. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, so it's good that you're integrating the spirituality in your work. I think it's
yeah.
yeah, this is powerful too.
I think it's also because, like we human beings are like meaning-making creatures. We love making meaning out of everything,
Mm.
And so if any of these experiential activities can give meaning for people, or like if any of these experiences can open the space for them to find meaning for themselves, we try to integrate all these things, even like the yoga you mentioned, the meditation we practice. So yeah.
Yeah, can I ask one question? I mean, like today, I think in the morning, I woke up and did my meditation, and somehow I understood that I'm a bit, um, I'm on the also on the process of exploring all the time. So I just want to know your opinion also. Then, like I think I came to Asia to explore the Buddhism more, like to know
Mhm.
more, like to have this environment. And yeah, because I was grown in like more Muslim culture, I see how Muslim culture influenced on Kazakh people, yeah. And here I see how Buddhist culture influenced on the people. It's totally different. But I think I'm somehow like I was a bit disappointed how the people treat the Buddhism, like because it seemed it became like very religious, and like I think people worship rocks. Like I was in like ancient city in Anuradhapura, and I saw how people was just praying to these pagodas, and I was a bit like I'm not blaming, but for me it was a bit strange. And for me, Buddhism is like more philosophy, where like you are more aware about your sensation, about your reaction, about detachment, and about impermanence. And I was like, I think I had a bit more perception, like people also treating Buddhism like me. And I was like a bit disappointed, but I thought maybe like all this religious stuff that become like very, very popular, like Christianity, Muslim, and Buddhism, yeah, uh, maybe
Mhm.
it's just given us a tool, like just explore our own authenticity, and then we like every person, each person that exists in the world, they have to express themselves somehow, assimilating all these experiences and like transforming it, and it will be very, very unique because it's only me doing this, yeah, or only you is doing this, or only she or he is doing like this. How do you think? Like, maybe it's no need to have something like very global, that is consuming everything, but just every each is individual, but also together. I don't know. Did you get my
Uh,
point?
yeah. Like when you said like you were kind of shocked to see people worshipping to the certain stones, you know. I'm glad that you are in Sri Lanka before you arrived in Nepal, because when you are in Nepal, you can expect that a lot, you know. Because like now I live in Kathmandu, and it is also called like people understand it as the city of temples.
Mm.
So if you just go around the city, in every corner you see like some kind of shrine, you know, a little temple or like a little statue, you know, like where people like to go and worship, and like there's some like even idols, you know. So for people, for Nepalese people, we see them as a representation of God, you know, the
Mhm.
symbol of God. So again, like it's mostly influenced by Hinduism and Buddhist culture over here. So and in Hinduism there are like many god and goddesses, right?
Yeah.
So each symbol represents some form of god or goddess here in Nepal. So I think it's also because uh, like societies all around the world, mostly in our area, as I know, is like historically we are all tribes, we are all tribal people, and the tribes here in Nepal, most they used to worship nature, you know, by default.
Mhm.
So and I think as the concept of religion came to our parts of the world and it became like huge part of life, I think like the pattern of worshiping to nature came closer to the religious idea. And I think that's how people started, and people are still worshipping. And sometimes we see we see it as a practice of religion, but it is also a practice of like, you know, our own respect to nature, I believe. Yeah,
How do you think, how is, if you're going to psychological aspects, maybe it's helping people to soothe their anxiety, right?
yeah. Because like I think like anyone, we all pray, right? In every religion or like in every society there is some form of praying to self, praying to nature, or praying to God. I think like in that little moment of prayer, like while they are praying, like people are able to connect to like what's important for them for that little moment, you know.
Very.
And I think that helps them to see like what is important, what where my focus needs to be, and where I need support as well. So I think like that's why praying is quite powerful.
Yeah, it's like a meditation. Yeah, as I understood, because when I started to practice Vipassana, like the teacher said, like recommendation is 2 hours in a day. I was like, oh my God, 2 hours in a day? Like, wow, just sitting in lotus pose. What? I cannot dedicate so much time. But then, I was sitting like and reflecting about the, Muslim people who do namaz, 5 times in a day, they do prayer. And some people
Yeah.
really do. And in Kazakhstan, sometimes it's really young people. I saw so many young guys and girls who doing this prayer 5 times in a day, whole their lives, like from the really young age. And I was like, wow, what kind of dedication? But it's also very meditative process, right? This prayer. Yeah,
True.
like they also do this movements when they go to their knees and they stand up and all this stuff. And they also, it's like a bit yogic exercises, like this the hero pose and all this. And I was actually like inspired by Muslim people. I know, like this is such a dedication to 5 times in a day. I think it took take maybe longer than 2 times, yeah, or 2 hours.
Oh,
So I thought maybe I can also meditate 2 hours in a day. Maybe it's
and
possible.
I think, and you did, right?
Yeah,
Did the
yeah. I
meditation for two
started
hours.
to make, and it really works. Actually, I understood that when you something, you really practice something like really in dedicated level, not because someone pushing you, not because
Yeah.
religion telling you, or like your friend or mother or father or husband or wife told to do this. You really get the fruits of this. I understood, like, because I was like 3 months, I was really like dedicated practice, like 2 hours in a day. I was like doing this. And then I understood like this meditation, I mean, like I practice only Vipassana. So I understood how my mind became so sharp. I mean, like I became so like
Mhm.
calm and my anxiety just dropped. I started to sleep better. And even it was like difficult period of life. I had health problems. Even this, it was like very diminished. Like I was like,
Mm.
wow, this is really works.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was
Uh-huh.
surprised because before I was very skeptic about all this stuff. I was really skeptic. I was like only science, like only research. And now I understood that, like there is hundreds of research every day, like, and last few years, it's more the information comes from US, right? Because they are like most the money is there and they dedicating their money for the research. And I see that just what they're recommending: mindfulness, good sleep, going to nature, and meditation.
Yeah.
Like in the now the like last month I explored about NSDR. It's like non-sleep deep rest, and this is just yoga nidra, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
come on, guys, you just rename it and give it to the people again, like, I mean, this all this what all the scriptures have. And then, and some people are really afraid when people start to talk about something spiritual, because they think, oh my God, this people is too esoteric, like, but
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
is a lot of wisdom if you are not too voodoo, right? Like if you are not trying to perceive everything like, oh my God, I need to do it just because of the blind face or something, right?
Yeah, yeah. And if it like if people and if people do it out of their blind faith or like they are told to do so, then I don't know like how they are going to find meaning for themselves.
Mm.
But like when it comes from inside and you actually maybe it comes out of faith as well, that you actually believe that it's going to bring something for you, then also maybe that can bring some meaning for us, I believe.
Yeah, because I thought before, like, how was people was surviving before psychologists appeared? They like this is the way that how they was revolving, yeah, changing, because they was worshiping gods and goddesses, nature, and all this stuff, and it really helped for them, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. So you remind me of like I used to be a teacher as well.
Uh-huh.
You remind me of one of my classes with my students in like back 2 years back, I guess. So I used to teach psychology, and
Hmm.
I asked my students like, okay, do you know when did psychology exist? You know, and they started sharing out of their academic knowledge like, okay, William Wundt, Freud, Carl Jung, and all these psychologists, they started like sharing around that time. And like and I mentioned like, if so, then can you imagine how human life was before then? So what I was trying to tell is like psychology was there like already way ahead. It just started as a discipline around the time of these scholars.
Yeah, yeah. I think white people adapted it somehow, yeah, to the modern life, because before it was priests, yeah, in
Yeah, yeah,
Christianity. Yeah, and shamans, all these people who was like more like connection to the god or something. Yeah, there was like very trustable people, and now we are also like psychologists, like a psychotherapist. we are the people whom like people really trust. Yeah, they ready to open up like all their like dark parts and not to be judged for it. Yeah, like because we have this loving kindness for them. If you know, like from the Buddhism, it's like metta. Yeah, like we are ready to accept. You know, like even you are doing something. Maybe you think that it's wrong, but we're ready to accept, and this acceptance give them the opportunity to change their behavior and their lives, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted to ask, like, since our conversation is going to end, like, what would you say to the younger generation or the people, like maybe Nepalese or like all over the world, who is struggling maybe some mental health problems or like some like difficult periods in their lives?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe that like we all have our own little world, that we are in tune with, like, every time. And this physical world that we have is like a shared world that we have in common. So we all have our own little world inside us, and I think it's very important to take care of our own little world, like what is going on inside me. Sometimes people are very much focused into outer world. People are very much focused into maybe meeting the demands of society, maybe even pleasing, making like pleasing someone else. But at the same time, I think it's also important to check with ourselves, okay, what does it bring inside me, inside my world. And for that purpose, going to nature, like going to green spaces, or maybe jungles, or to the rivers, or maybe now you are closer to beach, maybe to the seaside beach. So I think going to nature helps us to kind of stay in touch with our own little world inside us. And that's why, like, I and my team over here, we encourage people to go to the nature, and practice the reflective activities together. So as a result of it, we are able to get more insight on ourselves, on our patterns of thinking, or also behaving. So yes, I would love to like ask people to like practice checking your inner world, how it is and how you can nurture it. So it's a long explanation, but yeah.
Thank you for your words. It's so beautiful, beautiful explanation. Yeah, I just was imagining in my head like a little garden, Zen garden inside of each person
Mhm.
that you need to take care about, right?
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
Yeah. I have a traditional ending of podcasts. So I have three questions from the previous guest for you. They didn't know who it will be. So first question is,
Mhm.
if you would be the movie, what would be the name of this movie?
I mean, like, if there was a movie of me.
Yeah, 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 like you, yeah.
It's funny. Uh, in Nepali, like some of my friends, they call me Batua.
Mhm. What does it mean?
So Batua is basically a traveler
Oh.
who might not have a rigid destination to reach. Just goes on and experiences. Uh, I think in Hindi or Urdu, it's called Musafir. Like a traveler, basically a traveler. And it also resonates the aspect of impermanence, the constant change that takes place. So I would say it would be Batua.
Batua. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it about Anitya. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I will say for the people, Anitya is impermanence. Because maybe some people don't know what is Anitya. Yeah. Okay. The second question, if you would be able to go back to the past and give any advice to yourself, what it would be?
Oh, okay. This is quite this brings me to my personal space as well. If I could go back, I would go back to my childhood and I would say, you can be a child, you know. You can be playful, you can be a child.
Hmm. Yeah, this is about spontaneity, yeah, about authenticity, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If you would have the ability to learn something new in one night, what it would be?
Okay. If I have the ability to learn something in one night, this is a very big question. It's kind of I'm taking time for this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Take your time.
Maybe it's like more to be with myself, you know, like to stay still.
Mhm.
Like, okay, I don't know if there's any possibility or if there's any technique to on how to be still, you know, like even though situations go ups and down for you externally, how to stay still inside you, you know, like that could be something that I wanna develop or like learn for myself.
Okay. I know the technique, Vipassana. Yeah,
Yes, I wish it has been a wish list for me, like to do the Vipassana for a long time, and I haven't been able to plan.
oh, okay.
I wish to plan soon.
Yeah, there is so many Vipassana centers in Nepal. I already saw. I really want to go. Yeah,
Yeah, true.
actually, it really helps. Like, I mean, of course, a lot of practice, as usual. Okay, Suraj, thank you for your time and for your energy. You are so bright person and very inspirational person for me. I'm so happy that we contacted and like planned and everything so was so smooth and flow. I really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Bhaktivala, so much for like making the contacts through online. And even though we don't know physically, we haven't met physically, we are able to like experience. And I think we have a shared value in life, you know. And thank you for organizing this and also giving me the space to share my experience. I know like all of the things that I have been sharing here, it's not like generalized, you know. Maybe some people it doesn't make sense to them, and I think I'm saying it's okay because I'm saying out of my experience as well.
Yeah, no,
So thank you for allowing me to share my experience.
no, I think it's very important sharing. I think sharing is caring. When we share, we
Yeah.
really care about other people because, as you said, I think you are caring about your inner garden. So you, with your experience, with your like with this dedication, you can show to other people how they also can care about their gardens. Yeah, and I think you will inspire a lot of Nepalese people and like who will watch this video to care about their gardens and then spread this. Yeah, I think this is one of the important steps that we can spread the information, like this kind of information. I think it need to be more that encourage people to care about their inner garden and help others to do the same. I think as all this starting from Krishna, yeah, and like all the spiritual people was doing, like for the like all the big people in the history who was doing this, they was encouraging people to care about their like inner gardens, as you said. So thank you
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
watching to the people this podcast. Share if you like this video to your friends, to your relatives, to the people who needs to hear this message these days. Thank you for watching and follow the Suras on the Facebook. Yeah, the links I will provide in the bio. Like press the like button, subscribe the channel, and let's raise the awareness level together. Bye.